Hello, my crafty friends. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm here today with a little booklet, little Christmas booklet that I want to finish with you and show you what I'm doing. And so we're going to work on that, and I'll show you what it is in just a second. But first, I want to show you some Christmas tags I finished, made out of, I've been working with book pages, trying to use up my stack of book pages. And so I had made these kind of a little bit bigger tags out of the 3 layers of book pages that I've been doing. They're sewn around the edge, as you can see there. And on these I used, well, these 3 right here, I used Tim Holtz pieces from the Tim Holtz ephemera, a botanical, Christmas botanical package. And that goes with that. And so these 3 are made with those book pages, and then I added the flowers, added a little flowers, a topper there on all 3 of these. This one has a Christmas tree. Super cute. I thought those turned out pretty. And these all have the note paper that it's old. It was an old notepad that I found in a package of sewing notions. Perfectly aged and a perfect size. I didn't have to cut them down or anything to put on the back of these for writing space. So I finished those 3 to go into my little ephemera Christmas ephemera that I'm making for next year. And then these 3 or 4 right here, I had a piece of this wrapping paper, and I thought I wanted to keep it upright, and if I put it into a journal as a page, it may have been, I may have had to turn it sideways, and I just thought it was so pretty, and I thought, let me go ahead and just use this on the tags. So this, again, is wrapping paper that I received in Happy Mail from Mardell, and thank you, Mardell, and look how pretty this is. I love it. I knew I loved it, and then when I cut it up and, you kind of like focus more on a smaller space, you can just see how the colors and everything and how pretty the little scenes are. So I love this yellow kind of house here with the red frame around the windows, and then the little church here. So that one, and here's another one with some more church, a little barn, or a little, dry carport or something there, a little barn. And then here's a couple more. How they ended up. They all have that note paper on the back. But aren't those cute? Here's a little just outdoor snowy scene. But that was all on that one piece of, I think I have a couple little pieces left too. They're smaller. So I'm going to have to do something, a smaller tag or something with those. But anyway, that went a long way, 4 tags. And I have, like I said, 2 smaller pieces. Okay, so down to our little booklet here. So maybe you all received this was a little Bed Bath & Beyond advertisement kind of pamphlet that I got in the mail. It was exactly this size and shape. And I thought, as soon as I saw it, I thought, okay, that's going to be a booklet. And it was like, it was kind of sealed up like this in the mail. And then you had to kind of, I think, unseal it. Did it have a little sticky here, or was it just like this? I don't remember now. But anyway, I covered it with, first of all, I put this duct tape here, which you either will have seen or will see in my Global Land video, where I'm demonstrating this pink, beautiful, bright pink. It's almost a red pink, but it's more pink than red, I think. Duct tape that I received and picked up at globalland.com. And then I put on this, I think I got this from Mardell. Did I get this from you, Mardell? This paper here? I think this came in your package too. It's a paper, what I believe it is a paper tablecloth. And I don't think I had used any of it because I hadn't figured out what I wanted to do. But when I like gluing down the wrapping paper or tissue paper or a napkin, and lately I've been working with a few napkins, so it reminded me of, the same kind of, the thin paper napkin, or, the texture and thinness of a napkin. That's what it reminded me. Maybe a little thicker, of course, because it was a tablecloth, but probably. But anyway, it's got a little texture on it too. But look how pretty. I just cut it up into pieces, and used it. I think this was pretty much the whole piece. I don't think I have. Oh, I do have a couple little pieces left. They're over there. I see them. Okay, so I still have a couple little strips left that I can work with on something. But I thought this was so cute on here. And so you can see that where I just glued it down on both sides. So what I did was use a purple glue stick and glued each, cut a piece to fit each panel inside. It doesn't go under the duct tape. I put the duct tape on first and then cut a piece to go in between. It overlaps the duct tape a little bit. And then I used the purple glue stick as like a decoupage, and I went over the top of it like in a solid form, like a lot of glue underneath, really solid as far as, I didn't miss any spaces, just a solid layer of that purple glue. Put down my tablecloth piece, and then I kind of let that dry on both sides, and then I went over on both sides a solid layer. I even went over, even if it went over the threads, or I did it before I sewed it. Anyway, I went over and just went over a solid layer of the purple glue over the top of each of these panels. Let that dry, and then I sewed around with pink thread, which you will see I had a little bit of a hard time with sewing over the duct tape, so you'll see that in one of my sewing videos. And I don't advise, by the way, just in case you haven't seen that video yet, I advise not sewing over duct tape after I did it. I was like, I'm never doing that again. So, and I didn't even really have to, because I ended up sewing around each panel all the way around like that, all the way around like that. So I didn't have to sew through the duct tape. I just wanted to try it, and I didn't like it. So I'm afraid it would eventually, if I, did it a lot or any more at all, I might, just really gum up my sewing machine. So anyway, I didn't have to do that. Next time I'll just sew around the panels if I do this again, which hopefully I will. But I know that's a long explanation. I just like to tell you in detail, so if you try something, And since I didn't do this on video, I wanted to explain it in detail so you know what I did and what to do and what not to do. So anyway, I think it turned out super cute. So now I'm about to add I tried all my little colored, or tried out all of my little colored eyelets, and none of them really, I could get away with one, but I didn't really love it. So I'm just going to do a pretty little silver, it's a little shiny silver one here. I'm just going to put a little eyelet here so that'll be my closure. So I want to do that first. And so for this, most of my eyelets will take this, they use the bigger hole in your crocodile. So I'm going to put a little hole right here and just eyeball the center of this. This is the front cover. So I'm just going to put a little eyelet right here. So let's punch a hole. Put my eyelet in there. Front of the eyelet goes on the front of the cover. And then get this part where you squeeze it together. And go ahead and do that. And give it a good squeeze. And it looks good. It looks good. Okay, so we've got that. And I have I looked through my ribbons and my laces and my, seam binding and all that. So I found some seam binding that is, can you see through the little window here? It's pretty much the same color right here as this green. I looked through my pink side. This is a really different kind of pink here, so I didn't find any pinks that same color. It's a miracle this even looks good together, but I think it really does. I think it's fine. I just didn't want to introduce another pink. So, but you could put a pink one there. I found one that was really close, and I could have gone with it, but I kind of just decided on the silver. So then I picked out some papers to go in here. Just some random papers, and these are just going to be sewn in with a pamphlet stitch. So we're going to try to finish this right now. So this right here is going to be folded. It's all going to be folded in right here into this little fold right here. So I think what I was thinking was, I don't want a whole lot of pages in there, but I do want, I think this is enough right here. So this, I'll tell you what they are as I'm cutting them. This is composition book page that is dyed with food coloring. I keep spray bottles of my food coloring here in my craft room. I have shown them before, but not for a long time. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And there's a little crinkle here. Let me see. Let me just pull that off of there. And yeah, so I keep in here, I think it's just pink, blue, and green. I think that's all I keep in here. Okay, so let's fold these, and then we'll cut them down if we need to, which we will have to. Okay, so let's see how these fit. We'll make a little template here. So that's a good width. But it's too long. I need about a little more than 1/4 of an inch cut off the bottom or the top of these. I'm going to cut this as a little tear right here, so I'm going to cut it off the bottom, and then that will be, my little tear will be gone. Not that it matters if there was a little tear there. I think I still put it in here. So, okay, so let's try that one and see if that's good. As far as the length, oh, that's perfect. Okay, so, and, yep, it's all good. Okay, so this is what we need, this size that we're making right now. So again, I'm going to cut about a good 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more off the bottom. And these two should be good. So, are they the same? Oh, that second one's a little higher. Let me cut a little bit more off that second one. So we're going to fold these and cut these real quick and sew it in and see how this turns out. We'll add our little lace also. So there we go. That looks good. Okay, so let me take this first one and use that as my template. And we'll just fold all of these really quickly. There's one. I've got, this is I think Rit dyed. That looks like Rit dye, possibly. Oh, you know what this is? This might be, I think this is avocado dye. I have so many, if you see my organizational videos for my craft room, I have so many papers, you know, organized, and dyed papers, all different types of dyed papers in my closet where I keep my papers. So, and I've had, you know, some of them I've had in there for a while, as far as, you know, I made a lot, so they're lasting a long time. So, oh, I didn't mean to have 3 greens. I think that's too many. Let's just do 2 greens. And so, yeah, let's just fold these in half, and then we'll cut them down. How about that? Get a little assembly line going. Here's a red. Okay, so now we'll get our template, and we'll see how we do with these. So about, I think the fastest way would be just to go ahead and do it here. Not just, I was going to say maybe I can do it 2 at one time, but let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, there's my measurement. And let me see, I just used my template as my measurement. And I'll do it again here so you can see. I know that was a little bit off to the side. And so I just take my template, put it under here where I'm cutting, whatever type of cutter you have. Line it up where my paper ends. Take this out so I don't mess it up. And cut. And that should be a perfect little page there. Yeah. And then we'll put them together in just a second. Let's get all these cut real quick. This will only take a couple of minutes. So let's get these done. I just pulled out 2 greens by coincidence, and I, you know, by coincidence, like when I was pulling out a green one, I ended up pulling out 3, but I thought it was 2. It's like, okay, 2 greens, okay, you know, so it's not a big deal. Whatever papers, if you're making something like this, just whatever papers you have. There's another one. You know, I mean, you could put in all one color if you want. I was thinking about doing all coffee dyed paper, but I kind of wanted to, you know, since this is not really it has vintage item on it. I think that you know, pretty sure that tablecloth piece is vintage. but it doesn't really yell vintage. It kind of yells more retro than vintage. So I decided, you know, why not use some colorful paper in here? It can all be written on. It can all be glued on. You know, whatever anybody wants to do. And I'll probably add it along with one of my Christmas journals next year. Okay, that's all the green ones. Now this one here. This is from I guess this is from a spiral bound book. I still have some of the right here where it was torn out, I guess. Oh, you know what? I think it is perforated. Is it perforated? Yeah, I think it's perforated right here. And this piece stayed on there as I was, this is green food coloring on here. The green and the red there are Astro Brights paper that you can get that at Walmart in the paper aisle. There you go, see that tore right off. So let's cut this down. And then, like I said, this green one that we're doing now is, I guess it's a piece of notebook paper from a spiral bound notebook. And it is green food coloring on here. So colorful, they're all colorful. Okay. And this one, I still need the width cut down here. So yeah, you can make this pretty quickly. I mean, the pages and the rest of it that we're doing on video today is not going to take hardly any time at all. I guess the thing that took the most time was really letting it dry with all the glue. That took the most time. But other than that, I just worked on it a little bit yesterday and did the cover. And then today, today I sewed on it. And, you know, after it was all nice and dry, let it sit overnight. It didn't really need to sit overnight. It's just I didn't have any more time to work on it yesterday. or you know, ran out of day. I ran out of day time. Ran out of the day. And so I did whatever with the glue and everything yesterday. Let it dry. It gave it time to dry. And then that's a little bit tall. I'm going to cut off another sliver here. And then today sewed on it. And we're finishing it off. Okay, so there's our pages. We've got, if you want to know how many papers I'm putting in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought that was plenty for this little notebook. I mean, you could put more in here, but if you start gluing things in here, it's going to be a little bulky. So let's see. Let's start off with a green. Since we have 2 greens, maybe we'll start off with a green, and then let's put we have 3 different pinks and a red, so let's put the pink lined next, and then let's put a red one next, and then let's put this, let's see, we've got lines, solid, let's put lines again here. Let's put the green lines here. And then let's do the avocado dyed. Then the pink again, pink with lines. And then the green again. Okay, so there's our signature. Let's make sure it all fits and make sure nothing else needs to be trimmed again. That's going to go right there. And this little flap, I don't want it on the outside. I want it here. So it could be, I'm just going to leave it like that. And everything fits in. It's all flush here. But if somebody gets this and wants to make this a tuck spot, they could either sew or glue this down, or you know, even put tape over the edges or something, duct tape, more duct tape or whatever. I'm just going to leave it like that as a fun little, you know, it can still be a tuck spot without being glued down, I guess. But anyway, we're going to sew these in. Let's sew these in. Let me grab my goodies to sew this in, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found this nice green here, never used, but it is, I did get it at a thrift store. Oh, here's a little needle inside there. Isn't that funny? I wonder, I didn't do that. Huh, interesting. I got it at a thrift store. Somebody put a little needle inside there. Okay, and then it was just with some sewing notions. Okay, so I wanted to see, can I just tie this in? So let's just experiment here for a second. Let me do it this way. That way, when I put this with a journal, somebody can rearrange the pages, add pages, you know, take away pages, whatever they want to do. So I'm thinking, let's run it along the outside and tie it on the inside, so we don't have loose strings. Because I'm already gonna have the closure going around the outside, so I don't want this tied on the outside. So let me get a nice long piece here. That way, if somebody wants to untie it, they can too. If this works out, if I don't like it after I get it tied, I'll go ahead and get my needle and sew the signature in. But let's try this real quick. You know, I like to experiment with you. Okay, I just want to make sure I have enough here. Rather have extra than not enough. I get lots of extra. Okay, and then we're just going to see how this looks and how it feels as far as sturdiness. Okay, so get these even. I kind of want to tie a knot so it stays. I think I'm going to have to tie a knot. Let's see, so here's my current little tie piece. If I don't tie a knot, if I just tie a bow, what will happen? We're going to try a bow. Just tying a bow here, because that way whoever gets this can easily untie it. If I tie a knot here, another knot, double knot, then whoever gets this would have to probably cut, you know, they'd have to cut this off if they wanted to do something different. But if somebody wants to untie it and do something different, add pages, then retie it or something, we're just going to try it, see if I can get it tight enough that it feels sturdy. If it doesn't, like I said, we'll do something different. I'm going to have to try it a couple times because I'm holding the string down and trying to tie it. Okay. Trying to tie it tight. Okay, so there's that. I'm trying to keep my fingers on that spot and tie a bow here. Okay. That's not easy. Not easy at all. And I'm pretty good at tying bows, but I don't know about this one. Okay, let's see how we did. Oh, it looks pretty like that right now. Let's see how tight it is. Okay, so this is going to go here. This is going to go here. Okay, here's what it looks like. Pretty tight, right? Look at that. I would say that's pretty tight. I would say it would be hard to get it any tighter, actually. Let's see how it is when we open it up. It looks good. I like it. I like it. I've been doing this lately, and I really love the option of having this like this. We'll smash it down a little, get all our folds there. But here's what it looks like. So when you turn the pages, you can turn and work and write on the pages. Then if you want to, I'm not going to slip one out right now because I don't want to mess it up. But if you did want to slip one out or slip another one in, slip a card in, any little thing in to the string, you can. So yeah, okay, we're leaving it like this. That's awesome. So then we're going to add our little lace here. Let's see what that looks like. And that green does look good. Let's see. Let me show you again how that looks. I wonder if you could even use that like a little bookmark. Like I'm right here on this page. Put that little flap in. Like I'm working on this page, or I'm working on, say, a page up here. I'm working on here, so I'll fold in there and then close it up, and that shows me where I am when I open up the book. I don't know. It could be. This is how the green looks on the red, and this green looks really, it's like the same color as this darker green right here. And this is the same color as the lighter green. I can't believe I actually had the right colors because it's kind of unusual colors, but it worked out. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do this. Let's see, there's not, I don't know if this has been, I haven't used this one before, but maybe somebody else has used part of it. I don't know if it's all, let's see, what does it say, how much is in here? 3 yards. This is definitely not 3 yards. So somebody has used this before, but put the rest, put it back in a little package there. So I can either fold this over and wrap it around, or tie a knot under here. Let's try the fold over, what I'm talking about first, the fold, kind of folded piece. I'm going to put this through here, I think. Try and get it small enough to fit through there. And then I'll just pull it through. This is a good long piece, so it can probably be wrapped around a couple times, or we'll see how it works out. So, and then again, that will give the new owner, once it has a new owner next year, probably, the new owner will have options. So I'm going to pull this even with the other end. It's pretty long, so let me pull it here for a second to get it even. Got another inch to pull this one, this side. Let's see. Is that even? That is pretty even. So that's what I meant by folded. It's just 2 strands now that are not tied or anything. I could tie it at this point. That's actually a good idea. Just tie a little bit here so it doesn't slip. So I'm tying a little knot here, like that. And not too tight, but there we go. So we got a little knot right there, and it kind of secures it so it's not slipping back and forth. Okay, let's fold our flap in. Let's see how many times it wraps around. It wraps around once, and then it comes around again, and then you can just tuck it. Let's see, what did I do? I folded it around the back. Let's fold it around the front this time. See how it turns out different? Because it was going to be like, if you wanted to tuck it in, it would tuck in the back, but this time I folded it around the front, and it tucks in the front. And there you have it, like that. Okay, now is there any other way to tie it? Okay, so you could do this. Fold this one around twice. I folded it around the front, right? Fold this one around the back. I think I'm going to like this one better. I'm just going to try to keep these tight. Okay, now fold this one around the back a couple of times, keeping it tight. Okay, so here's all of our pieces. Let's kind of push them all together. Push them all together. This one's a little loose. Oh, it's this one right here. Okay. All right, so we got 2 ends coming out here now, and we can tie it. So you can do it any which way you like it. If you're making one of these, or you end up with this little piece and you remember this next year. I think I like this there. I wrapped one around the back a couple times, one around the front a couple times, ended up right here together, and then I can tie a little bow. And there you go. And look how it matches the greens. That's really cool. All right, it's a pretty little booklet. And we did that, closure. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. That was fun. I enjoyed. I didn't know, what all I was going to do there. I kind of had a plan, but kind of did something different than I planned, because I planned on sewing in the signatures. But then I decided to do that, and there we go. Super cute. I like it. I like it a lot. So anyway, I got a few scraps here. I'll clean those up in a minute. But yeah, that was fun. So I will be doing more Christmas crafting. Stay tuned, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.